everybody, it's Christy back with another video, and I'm super excited for this one because we are finally doing the 2023 gift guide for artists. So this year I'm going to do things a little bit differently. My plan this year is to list 3 different tiers for 6 different types of artists. So our 6 different types of artists are Watercolor Beginners, Watercolor Experts, Graphite Lovers, Colored Pencil Enthusiasts, Alcohol Marker Illustrators, and Ink Dabblers. So those are our 6 types of artists that I feel qualified to give some advice about supplies for. I certainly don't feel qualified to talk about oil paints or acrylic paints or soft pastels. So those are things you should go to a different channel for, but I thought those would be great categories. Within each of those 6 categories, we're going to give 3 different possible gifts. Gift 1 is going to be like a $20 to $25 stocking stuffer. Gift 2 is going to be somewhere between $40 to $60, so kind of a $50 gift. Obviously, prices fluctuate, so I'm just kind of trying to be round about it. And then the third gift is going to be a little bit more expensive, something around $100. So it's got price points. It's got buildability. You can mix and match the different elements in each one. You can mix and match across platforms if you want to. And then there's a little bit of a special shout out section at the end. So stick around to the end to see that. But let's get started. This is going to be a long video. I hope that you are here for it. All right, so our first category is watercolor beginners. So these are people that probably don't have a ton of supplies yet and have just started getting into the hobby. So I think that these are some brand names that maybe they wouldn't think to pick up or are something that's just a little bit more unique than what you would get as your standard starting supplies. So like I said, we're going to break it down into the stocking stuffer and then the $50 gift and then the $100 gift. And again, those are rough estimates of how much everything's going to cost. Prices fluctuate on Amazon. The stocking stuffer idea that I would get is some travel paintbrushes. So I have a set, and they are split up all over the place, of travel paintbrushes that I got on Amazon that were nice and affordable, right around the $15 price point. This is not the case they came in, but they came in a little case that looked like this. This is a more expensive travel case. I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but I just wanted to show you kind of how they are presented. And the way that they work is that you go ahead and pop this off, and then you put it on here and you can paint with them on the go. These have holes in them so that they will drain out, but they are an absolute wonderful supply for somebody who is starting out and maybe wanting to paint just wherever they feel like it. So these would be my stocking stuffer idea because every artist can always use more brushes. If you wanted to turn this into a $50 gift that was pretty much an all-encompassing watercolor gift, I would add some paints and a sketchbook. These are the paints that I would add. You've seen me talk about these before on the channel. These are the Mei Liang Pretty Excellent watercolor paints. They are, in my opinion, the best watercolor set for beginners for your money. It runs anywhere from about $15 to $20 on Amazon at any given time. There are 36 half pans in here. They comes with a water brush, and these colors are absolutely phenomenal. This is a brand new set because I wanted to get a brand new set. I have the old set, and I wanted a new set for the purpose of this video and a few other videos I'm going to do in the future, but can't recommend this set enough. So this is about $15. This is about $20. We're at about $35. And then for about another $15 to $20, I would pick up my favorite mixed media sketchbook to go with this. I talk about these all the time on the channel too. And that is the Stillman and Bern Beta Series sketchbooks. You want the Beta Series for sure. That is cold press paper. And it is, I think these are, I don't know if they're 100% cotton, but they are awesome, heavyweight, wonderful papers. They are wonderful to work on. I have 2 different versions here. They cost the same price on Amazon, about $20. So you're looking around $55 for this gift, give or take a few dollars here or there. This is the hardcover version that opens like this, okay? And it has a spiral bound. Some people might really like the the spiral wire setup, or there is a soft cover version, and that is going to be blue like this. I have both linked below, and it lays pretty flat as well. And you can see like this is a completely filled one. This one is one I'm working in right now, but I absolutely love these sketchbooks. So for $50, this is what I would purchase. And I think that that would be a really nice gift. Now, one thing you can do if you wanted to add a little bit more to this is you could go to the dollar store and you could get some nice cloths or some clips or a water cup. You could add all of those things for $1 at the Dollar Tree, and it would really round out the gift if you're feeling like this isn't quite enough and you'd like to have a few more things, a pencil, that kind of stuff. If you wanted to do a little bit more and make this a little bit more elevated of a gift, here is how I would get it to a $100 gift. I would remove the Pretty Excellent watercolors. I love them, but I would remove them because for about $10 more, you can get this palette of Rosa Gallery watercolors. And these are, in my opinion, about as close as you can get to the most affordable artist grade paints you're going to find. This palette is well loved by me. I've had it for about a year now. I love playing with it. These are extra colors. It doesn't come with these colors in the middle. That's just what I happen to like have bought extras because I love them so much. And this is a great starter palette. It's a great mixing palette. There's so much space. It does have a bigger footprint. So if that's something that you think the artist would be concerned about, maybe don't go with this one. But at around $29, $30, this is such a steal. And that is its current price as of the taping of this video. So I would add this palette, and that for $100, I would keep all of the rest of these supplies. And then I would also add the Art Whale glitter watercolors. I reviewed these a little while back and was astonished at how absolutely wonderful they are. They run about $25 to $30. So you would be able to gift 2 really nice palettes that are completely different and can be used for different purposes, a set of brushes, and a sketchbook, all for about $100. And like I said, add some dollar store add-ons. But for a beginner watercolorist, I think these are gifts that would be slam dunks. You can't go wrong. You can mix and match from here. Maybe you want to get these 2 watercolor sets instead. Whatever your budget is, I think that you could find a gift in here for somebody who is starting out with watercolor. All right, our next category here is going to be Watercolor Experts. You certainly don't have to be an expert necessarily to enjoy these products, but I think these products are more suited for somebody that has paint and has the basics already, has probably been painting for a while, and is looking for something that is a little bit more elevated or unique. For the stocking stuffer, I'm going to give you 2 ideas, and you can either use both of them or you can use them separately. The first is the Caran d'Ache Aquarelle palette. I love this thing. It is such a workhorse in my studio. You can see mine is stained and well loved. This side of the palette is rough, so you can scribble watercolor pencils on it. You can scribble water-soluble graphite on it. It will pick up anything that you can scribble, and then you can use it like a watercolor. And the other side is flat, so you can put regular watercolors on here or markers, like watercolor markers or water-based markers. I love using this, especially with subscription boxes. It's always handy to have around when I want to try an art supply that will basically seeing if I can watercolor with it. So I love this. It runs about $12. It's available on Amazon, and it is great. The other thing I'm going to recommend is a set of Derwent sketching pencils. Now, this is my set of Derwent sketching pencils. It's well loved. One is missing, but these are regular sketching pencils. They sell this exact same set, and it's got these guys in it. So this is what you want. You want the ones with the blue stripe on them. They are aqua sketching pencils. So they have light wash and dark wash, I think is the way that these are described. And you get 3 of each in the set, but they disappear and dissolve with watercolor. So they are really great for sketching for watercolor projects. And it is something that as a watercolor artist, I go through them. So getting a set of these would be such a nice welcome gift. they're going to run you about $10 to $12 on Amazon as well. Or you can go to a local Blick or art supply store and pick a couple up open stock if you'd rather do it more affordably. Adding to this, if you wanted to make a $50 gift, I would recommend one of two directions. Both of these are around $40. They are a little pricier of items. You don't necessarily have to use both of them. Like I said, use one or the other. The first is the set of Mimic Faux Squirrel Travel brushes. I got these recently and I really like them. They are the same as the Creative Mark Mimic set of brushes if you have the ones with this nice handle. Here is one of them right here. I use them all the time. They are faux squirrel brushes, meaning they're not real squirrel hair. That's why they're called the Mimic brand. And they are absolutely wonderful watercolor brushes. Mine get so much use if you like a softer watercolor brush. They hold a ton of water. And these are just the same as the ones I talked about in the beginner set, but they are the Creative Mark Mimic brand, which makes them a little bit nicer. Right now on Amazon, these are $40. I got my set for $26 a couple months ago. So I don't know if the pricing on these is just fluctuating or initially the pricing was just lower and now it's gone way up. But if that is a little bit rich for your blood, you could get the set that I have in the beginner watercolor set. And I think that people would still really like those. They are still really nice to have. It's really nice to have a set of travel brushes, and those ones from the beginner set are not a bad quality. These are a little bit nicer. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you wanted something that was a little more affordable so that you could get a sketchbook. So the sketchbook I'm going to recommend for artists, you all know what it is. It's the Etcher Mixed Media Cold Press sketchbooks. These are mine in A5. They come in a portrait or a landscape. I prefer the landscape. There's no question I prefer the landscape. If I was going to buy one, I would buy the landscape one. But there's not a whole lot I can say about this that I haven't already said. This sketchbook is amazing. It takes water media like a dream. It is absolutely my favorite watercolor sketchbook, and I go through a bunch of them and I absolutely love them. So can't recommend this enough. And these right now on Amazon are running for about $35. If you get a bundle of them, I think either on Amazon or on Etcher, they're a little bit cheaper. So that is something to keep in mind if you are thinking about doing this. So I would either go one of these two directions plus these things to make your $50 gift. Like I said, you could mix and match all of it and there's your $100 gift, but I do have a few other ideas you can throw in there for the $100 gift. So let's say that you did this combination. You might add a paint puck to it. Mine is clearly dirty and well loved. So paint pucks are awesome. They have collapsible ones now that look really cool, but I don't need them because I've already got several of these. But that is something that an artist would absolutely love, having a watercolor artist specifically. So this is my paint puck. Like I said, there is a link below. This one runs about $30 to $35, just depending. But that is one thing that you can do. Now, you'll notice that in this section, I have not talked about paint because like I said, if this is a watercolor not beginner, they definitely have paint. The only set of paint I'm going to recommend if you don't want to get a paint puck would be this set right here. It is a new set out this year that I think a lot of people probably don't already have. It doesn't come in this case. I put mine in this case, but that is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Art Nouveau palette. So here are those colors. It is an absolutely gorgeous muted color palette, full pans of paint in that Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolor / gouache goodness. And they are absolutely phenomenal. They've been hard to get this year. A lot of people have tried to buy them and they haven't been available. They are currently available on Amazon at the time of the filming of this video. But this set's going to run you about $40 and it isn't going to come in this nice palette. So if you are pairing it with the Caran d'Ache palette, that right there is about a $50 gift and would be a really nice gift. If you wanted to go $100, you could add the set of Mimic brushes and maybe pick up an open stock pencil. And that is a really beautiful built $100 gift. So this is kind of a mix and match in these sections here. I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas on ways to build gifts that are around certain price points. And even a expert artist would enjoy a water cup from the Dollar Tree, or a set of clips to go with this, or a nice set of microfiber cloths. All of those kinds of things that you can pick up at a dollar store. Some washi tape is a great addition. We use those things all the time. Everybody that paints uses those things and would appreciate inexpensive additions to this to make it a more thoughtful gift. So that is what I would get for somebody that is a watercolor expert. And now we're going to move into some fun stuff with pencils. All right, so the next stop on our gift guide is Colored Pencil Enthusiasts. So here are some good holiday gift ideas for colored pencil artists. So the first thing up is the T-Gall pencil sharpener. I absolutely love this guy because it is a very versatile pencil sharpener. The settings between 1 and 5 completely change how the pencil sharpens. I'll give you an example here. I'm using Blackwing pencils just because it's what I had on my desk. So sharpening with the 1 is going to give you a much blunter, like smaller tipped pencil. Sharpening with a 5, just to give you the absolute range, is going to give you something that is much more elongated. So you can see there the major difference in the two at different ends of the sharpening, but it's got 5 different ones on here, so you can pick and choose how much you want in between there. And then it also has a closed function so that you can't stick a pencil in there. Nothing can get stuck in there when you're traveling with it. It's just like the greatest little workhorse, and it is my favorite sharpener if I had to pick one travel sharpener. Along with that sharpener, if I was giving a gift for a colored pencil artist, I would pick up a small version of this Tone Tan mixed media paper from Strathmore. This is their 400 series. I absolutely love this paper for working on with colored pencils. It is a favorite of mine. I have the wire-bound ones linked below. I would pick up a small wire-bound one, and these two together would run you about $20. If you wanted to spend a little bit more money and go for a $50 present, I would upgrade this to a bigger, nicer mixed media pad, probably from like a 5x8 size, maybe to like a 9x12 size. And then I would add to these two things the Brute Macaroon set of colored pencils. So this is just a well, this one is Prismacolor, but this is just a smattering 3 pencils. I have the 50 set over in my pencils. I don't have the box anymore. I'm recommending that you buy the 72 set of these, which is going to run you about $30 on Amazon. I'm going to link a picture of the box right here, right now. The reason I like these pencils as opposed to buying Prismacolor for a colored pencil enthusiast is that chances are your colored pencil enthusiast already has Prismacolors. And Prismacolor is notorious for not having a terribly robust pastel range. So these macaroon pencils are a great line of pastel pencils that work seamlessly with your Prismacolors. I pulled these two out because this gives you a good example of how nicely those two pencils could blend together. They're just very close in color, but this one is just a tad lighter. And that is what the whole Brute Macaroon line does. I really, really love these pencils. They're easy to work with, and they are such a steal. And at that price point and with that many pencils, you will definitely be able to get lots of use out of them for a long, long time. So that would be my $50 gift idea. So 30 and then 20 gives us 50. If you wanted to add something really nice to this, the thing that I would add, and it is going to cost you right now, they're about $60, but they are the best value in high quality colored pencils. And that is the Derwent drawing pencil set. So the Derwent drawing pencil line, it's right here. There's 24 pencils. Like I said, it's about $60 for the set right now on Amazon. I got mine around $40 about a year ago. So keep an eye out because they might be a little bit cheaper than that. But these are light fast pencils. This is a set of 24 pencils that is 100% light fast, and they are significantly less money than the Prismacolor or the Derwent light fast pencils. Chances are this is a set of pencils that either your colored pencil enthusiast doesn't have it and it's a beautiful set of earth tones, or they have it and they would love an additional set because it's one of those things that is very, very nice to work with. If you get these, I would swap out the T-Gall sharpener for a Derwent sharpener because the T-Gall sharpener, the hole in it isn't big enough for the Derwent pencils. This Derwent one I have linked below. It's a great little pencil sharpener and it's got dual holes, so you still have a smaller size for the Brute Printer pencils, but then you have a larger one that will fit your Derwent pencils. But I can't recommend the Derwent drawing pencils enough. They are absolutely great and I love them so very much. So that is what I would buy for the colored pencil artist enthusiast in my life. All right, this next set of gifts would be for somebody that loves graphite and sketching. We're gonna really focus on all things that are like pencils, graphite, etc. So my initial stocking stuffer idea would be one of two things. The first you could do is the Artist set of sketching pencils. These are like $8 on Amazon. I'm gonna take it out here so you can see it. They are so colorful. I tested these in a video a while back and they are just really fun. If you would get somebody these because they come unsharpened, I would probably go ahead and add the T-Gall sharpener to it because together this is still under $15. Or you could get a couple sharpeners and split this up amongst a couple different stockings and would still make a really nice present. So that is a really, really nice, inexpensive idea. If you want something that's a little bit more money, around $13 to $15, you can get, I have it upside down, the Prismacolor Premier Graphite Drawing Set. This is an absolutely wonderful, all-encompassing graphite set, especially for somebody that is either new to graphite, or if it's somebody that likes graphite, I think they're really going to like this whole set. So you would have several pencils in here, and I went through this in detail recently on the channel, but it comes with erasers, a sharpener, a sharpening block, some woodless graphite pencils, some water-soluble graphite pencils. It's just a slam dunk. So I'm going to base my $50 and $100 gifts on including this guy. So I would start with this one. Then to get to a $50 gift, I would add to this a sketchbook and either a set of pan paints or blocks. So there's a couple sketchbooks that you could add to this. Again, I'm going to go back to my favorite brand, which is Stillman and Bern. There are two different options here. I have small ones. You would obviously get ones that were in that A5 size that I showed earlier during the watercolor videos. This is the Epsilon series. This is white smooth paper. This is the Gamma series. This is medium grain, dry media, beige paper. So this paper, ivory, it's ivory paper. So here is the ivory paper. I'm going to show you just inside kind of the difference. So this is how ink and colored pencil play out on this paper. I like a toothier paper for graphite and colored pencils, so this one would be my pick. But if you like something that's smoother and you do a lot more blending, here is how the Epsilon series looks. They're both high quality. You've got nice thick paper on both of them. You're going to be able to use the front and the back on the sketchbooks. And like I said, I just think these sketchbooks are so nice. They travel so nicely. They can be used anywhere. If you wanted toned paper, you could either go back to the one I suggested earlier, the Strathmore Toned Tan Mixed Media Paper. That's still a really good option for graphite as well. Or Stillman and Bern has the Nova series, and the Nova series does have beige paper. I don't have one of those here, but I do know that people like those as well. I just have always used the toned tan paper from Strathmore when I'm working on toned paper. So along with a sketchbook, I would pick up one of two things in order to make my $50 gift. You could either get, depending on the artist, depending on what you think they would like, Derwent's Graphitint paint pan set. This has been around for a while, but if you're trying to get something that a graphite artist might not have, this is a set of water-soluble graphite colored paint pan pockets. They are erasable. It comes with a water brush. They are absolutely phenomenal and fun and would work so nicely with all of the rest of these supplies. Even though these are technically dry media books, they do take light washes, so they would work for this particular setup. Or if you think it's somebody that works a little looser or wants something a little bigger, the new Derwent XL blocks in Graphitint are absolutely gorgeous. So these guys run you about $25. These are going to run you about $35. So this one is a little bit more of an investment, but it is this is a brand new set from this year, if I can ever get it open. And they are absolutely phenomenal. I, again, reviewed these recently on the channel, and I just think these are a great gift that somebody probably doesn't have. So if you're looking for something they definitely wouldn't have, this would definitely be a great, great gift. Now, to elevate this to $100, we're going to do some finishing touches here. So a finishing touch that I think is really nice, because we don't have anything other than graphite so far, is I would get a nice expensive deluxe set of Sakura Pigma Micron pens. So I have 3 here, but I have a set online that is either 6 or 8, a deluxe set. That is a great way to elevate somebody's sketchbook supplies. And you can't go wrong. Everybody loves the Micron pen. Even if they have them, they can always use more of them. And then another thing that I would add that I think is really cool is Art Graph Taylor's chalk. So this is a white block of Taylor's chalk. This stuff is super cool. It is water soluble, so it works like a white highlight would over top of graphite, or you can actually use it to draw out. I'm not going to draw on my skin here. Let me grab this tone tan paper just to show how it works. So it makes really nice lines, and you can do big swatches with it, but it also is water soluble. So this is such a cool thing. I don't think many people will have it, but I think it is really, really nice, and it runs you about $12 for one block of this. So it is a little bit more of a pricey kind of high-end thing that not everybody's going to have. And now it's all over my hands. If you didn't want to get this, you could just get a white Prismacolor pencil to go with this, because we don't have any white highlight in this at all. And that could really go at any of the price points, because it's like $2 at Michael's. I didn't even link it below, because you would just go to Michael's and buy one, or Blick or somewhere like that. But a white highlight would be a nice thing to give a graphite artist here. You also could add in a set of, are there blenders in here? There are not blending stumps in here. So that would be another thing that you could add in, would be a set of these, some blending stumps. You can get a set of these for $3 to $4 on Amazon. And that would be another thing that a graphite artist would really appreciate having with their supplies. So that is what I think you might want to get the Graphite Lover in your life. All right, so now we're going to switch gears and talk about alcohol markers and alcohol marker illustrators and what they might like for gifts. For some stocking stuffers for the illustrator in your life, my immediate first, like if you want to spend $6 and that's it, are these guys right here. The dual pack of Tombow Fudenosuke pens. They are just awesome. One is a hard tip and one is a soft tip. Let me get them out here so you can see the tips. They look identical, but they move a little bit differently. But these guys are waterproof. They are alcohol proof. They are everything proof, and they are absolutely awesome. They last forever. The tips last for a really long time, especially if you're using them on smooth paper. So I can't recommend these enough. If you wanted to add something to that, I would grab the Posca, the Uni Posca fine tip white markers. And when I say are I think it's ultra fine. Let's see if it says. It's the 0.7 millimeter pin type pen that I'm just talking about. You can get a 3-pack of these on Amazon for about $9. You could probably get them cheaper at a big box store, but this is a fabulous white highlight pen, and alcohol ink or alcohol marker enthusiasts know that a white highlight is something that you want. I don't mess around with gel pens. I like these a little bit better, especially because they're water-based, so if I make a mistake, it's easy to correct. If you wanted something a little bit more unique that was a brush pen, I really like these Pentel brush pens. There's 3 different varieties of them here. They all do the same thing. I believe the one with the blue cap is a water-based marker, and the other 2 are permanent ink. I don't really remember the difference. I think this is just a newer version of this one that I have here, but I'm honestly not sure. I do know that I like these pens a lot. They have a brush tip, and that brush tip is, in fact, like individual fibers. So if that is something that you think somebody would like to play with, they are really cool. Definitely it's something that is a learning curve, but I really think they're fun. I like playing with them. So they run about $6 or $7 on Amazon. And again, probably can get them a little bit cheaper if you go to Blick. So this is kind of what I would recommend for a stocking stuffer. If you're going to move up to that $50 gift, I would either keep these or these, mix and match. And then you're going to want a really nice sketchbook. So I have 2 options for sketchbooks. The first is the Crescent Render No-Show Alcohol Ink Paper. Absolutely love this stuff. This is a brand new one, so you're not going to see anything on it, but you can abuse this paper all you want, and you will not see it on the other side. It's absolutely fabulous. They do not lie with that no-show through paper. It is awesome stuff. These, however, are a little bit hard to come by on Amazon right now for whatever reason. I haven't looked on Blick, but you might be able to get them there. I love them. I don't know why they've been hard to get lately. I hope that doesn't mean they're going to stop selling them because they're fabulous for alcohol markers. The other alcohol marker booklet that I would recommend is the Ohuhu marker paper. Now, they don't sell this one anymore, and I'm sad because it's beautiful. I love this book, and I'm so sad that they don't sell this version. The version that they sell is a spiral bound book. It's wire bound. It's not got the hard spine anymore, which kind of stinks, but this paper is absolutely phenomenal. It works very nicely. It does bleed through, so just to show that, but they include this nice little guy right here with it, so you just stick that there, and then you don't have any problem with it bleeding onto the other page. This book is well loved by me. It has serrated pages, but like I said, they don't sell this exact version of it anymore. These books are pretty comparable in price. The wire-bound version of this that I have linked below is about $18, and this guy is about $22, but you can use the backs of the paper, even though it's thinner, but that's just a choice that you would have to make. Both of them are brands that I would recommend for alcohol markers. If you don't like either of these, you could always go with Canson XL Bristol paper. Canson XL Bristol paper would be my budget-friendly option for alcohol marker paper. And if you want, I can include a link to that below. I didn't link it below, but I will if people want. Just send me a comment and let me know. And along with one of these books for $50, I would then go ahead and invest in the following alcohol markers. So it's probably no surprise to anybody here that Ohuhu is my choice for budget-friendly alcohol markers. Heck, I think Ohuhu is my choice for alcohol markers, period, right now. I really, really like the Tombow ABT Pro markers, but I'm not even sure they're making those anymore. And I just think that you can't beat what you get with Ohuhu. So really, this is just going to be the $50 or $100, just depending on how many markers you buy. There is a really nice set of 40 markers, so this is more than that. This is 120 markers, and then I have some others thrown in here because this is my travel set of alcohol markers that I take up and go with. But I just wanted to get these out so you could see the nibs. So the ones that I recommend are the ones with the brush and the chisel nib, because I think that you should pay a little bit more and get those as opposed to getting the more markers for less money, but that's up to you. So there's the brush end. There's the chisel end. For a nice $50 gift, I would get the 40 set of these. The 40 set of these runs about $30. For a $100 gift, I would keep everything else the same, and I would get a 104 set of these markers for $80. That's what I would do. And then you could add a sketchbook. You could add 1 or 2 pens if you wanted to for illustrations. But I don't think you can beat Ohuhu. There are other mixes and matches of sizes in there. So if you didn't want to go quite up to 104, there's a 72. There might be a smaller set. I just went for the biggest set that you could get. And for $80 for 104 markers, that's less than $1 a marker. And these markers, they are comparable to Copics, which runs $5 to $8 a marker. So that tells you everything you need to know about their quality. I know that they've probably been recommended in tons of gift guides, but I can't recommend something else. I just think that they are the best gifted brand on the market, and they go on sale pretty regularly. So check for coupons, check for sales on the on Amazon. You definitely might get one, but they are my pick, and that's what I would get for the alcohol marker lover in my life. All right, the final category we're going to talk about today is ink dabblers, people that like to play around with ink. So for an ink dabbler, I think a really nice stocking stuffer is one of these incredibly cool sets from Amazon that is a little calligraphy dip pen set for about 20 bucks. And it's I don't have this exact one linked. My daughter got this on Etsy, but you get a really nice glass dip pen and several dip pen inks. So they usually run about 20 bucks on Amazon. You can get ones that are less or more expensive than that. But I think if you're just looking for a single gift, even if somebody has a glass dip pen, they could always use another one. Different colored inks are always fun to play with. So I think that would be an absolute slam dunk for the ink lover in your life. To keep going up and to get us to a $50 price point, I think that you could add to this a sketchbook. And yes, good old Stillman and Bern is back again. So I would go with my watercolor sketchbooks that were mixed media, the cold beta series Stillman and Bern's. However, if you're somebody that does a lot of writing with a fountain pen or a calligraphy pen, you might want smoother paper. In that case, you could get the Stillman and Bern Zeta series, which is basically hot press paper. So like there's some inks actually played with on this paper. I promise I'm not sponsored by Stillman and Bern, but hey, Stillman and Bern, you want to sponsor me? Because like I'm just out here with all the Stillman and Bern. You also could use the Gamma or Epsilon series as well. This is going to have the beige medium grain, but it is a mixed media pad. It will do a light wash of ink. And so will this pad, and this is smooth white paper. If you want something that's going to hold more water, go with the Beta or Zeta series. If you want something that's going to be more about sketching with ink, you might choose the Epsilon or Gamma series. All of these sketchbooks are the same price points, regardless of whether you get the small one or the larger one. And they're all linked below. So that is what I would do. I'll leave one sketchbook up here. All right, to add to this right here, if you wanted to elevate this gift a little bit more and you could maybe, buy something a little bit cheaper here or not buy this, you could also add some Inktense products. So Derwent's Inktense products are a very unique, fun gift for the ink lover in your life. They are probably something that people either don't have, or if they have them, they would appreciate more of them. I'm trying to choose Inktense products that would be less common. I think a lot of people have the pencils. The pan paints are absolutely phenomenal. This is the pastel pan paints just because I have the 24 set, but I'm recommending here that you get the 12 set. They're $24, and make sure you get the 12 set that has the white in it, because that white paint is such a cool white ink pan that you have to try it. So that is my recommendation for Inktense products. And I don't have these either yet because I hope to get them for Christmas. The Derwent XL blocks has a Inktense set of blocks now. These are the Graphitint blocks, but they come in a box that looks just like this. They're linked below. It says Inktense. I would recommend at this price point buying the box of 6. If you wanted to go up to the $100 price point, you could buy the box of 12. If anybody from my family is watching this video and has gotten this far, this is on my wish list for this Christmas. So maybe pick those up for me. But yeah, I would really love to try them. They're something that I'm hoping to come away with either gift cards or money to get for Christmas. So yeah, I would recommend some Inktense products because I think they're really cool. If you want to go up to the $100 price point, I would say start getting into buying a fountain pen and some ink to go with it. So I've got some fountain pens in here. I'm going to pull out my fountain pen stack and show you ones I think that you should try. I really like these Hongdian fountain pens from Amazon. They run around 20 bucks, but they're really, really, really beautiful, and they are nice beginner fountain pens. They come with a convertible cartridge. So I'm going to grab this one because I know it's pretty empty, so I won't get ink all over myself. And you are able to take this out and fill the pen up. Okay. And they are just super awesome and really fun. And then as far as an ink goes to go with this, I linked a few below. I know a lot of people have raved about Diamine ink. I have not tried Diamine ink because I have some more locally sourced brands of ink I'm going to talk about here in a minute. The other kind of ink pen that, I mean, I have a bunch, but I think I would recommend would be Ferris Wheel Press, and I'm going to talk about them in general. But Ferris Wheel Press makes really, really pretty $15 ink pens. You just have to pay for shipping on their website, but right now they're running a ton of specials. And if you know our friend Jude at Jude and Her Pencil or Sean at Uncle Frogface, they both have codes that you can use for Ferris Wheel Press. So go to their channels and get those codes. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You have to go watch their videos. Shout out to my friends. But Ferris Wheel has beautiful ink. A lot of their ink has this shimmery stuff in it. The quality is beautiful. The packaging is beautiful. So their inks about this size, I think, run about 20 some bucks. So you could get a really nice ink and a really nice pen to elevate a gift for an inky friend. Another company I'm going to shout out here, if you wanted to go off of Amazon and buy some stuff, because I know they are also having some massive sales right now, is Birmingham Ink. Well, it's the Birmingham Pen Company, but they're in Pittsburgh, here where I am located, and their writing inks are absolutely superb. I love them. I use them all the time, and I can't recommend them enough. Their ink pens are a little bit more pricey, so I will tell you that their writing ink works really well in the Hongdian pens. There's one pen. I have another of the same variety over here and over here. So that purple one and this silver one are all of that variety. So those are my recommendations there. And like I said, if you wanted to get ink online, I would try Diamine ink. I've heard really good things about them. But those are my inky products that I would buy for somebody who is an ink lover in your life. All right, last but not least today, I wanted to talk about some upgrades that you can make from some small businesses that I think are pretty awesome and worthwhile, and I definitely would like to highlight in this video. So let's start with my two favorite metallic watercolor brands, Yuli and Scrim. Grab my Scrim palette over here. Okay, I'll start with Yuli and then we'll talk about Scrim. So it's no secret at this point on this channel that I absolutely love Jeannie over at Yuli and everything that she is doing with metallics. I have this gigantic palette here, but she's got things at all the price points for everybody. The dot cards that she gives are absolutely filled with wonderful paint. So if all you could afford for somebody is a dot card, these are very unique and special, and a watercolor artist or a ink artist or a calligraphy artist is going to really appreciate them. She also offers things that are a little bit smaller like this. And like this is a grab bag that I got that I just kind of have all floating in here. But just to give you an idea, like even her smaller containers have beautiful packaging and make amazing gifts. So whatever price point you're at, Jeannie has something for you. Definitely check out Yuli. If you are in the UK or anywhere really, Scrim is another wonderful company with amazing metallic watercolors. I love their metallics as well. They give you gigantic full pan sets of watercolor, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They also sell glow-in-the-dark watercolors, which are super cool and super neat. Something to definitely try if you haven't before. And they run sales on their site all the time. So they are a little bit more of an investment, but you can get a 5 full pan set for $20 or $30. And if you're just looking to buy one nice thing for somebody, this might be a really great thing. Their super shifters over here are absolutely to die for. I love them. And they're just, all of their watercolors are beautiful. This pan alone is one of my favorite, like, glittery pans that I own. I love to use these paints. They are loved as well. And like I said, Scrim runs deals all the time, so I'm going to link them below and you can check them out. Another brand that I talk about all the time on the channel is Zach over at Arts to Embers. So his refillable palettes are absolutely unique, and he puts so much time and thought and care into his palettes. This is probably the palette I reach for the most. It's got all kinds of different paints in it, and I absolutely love working with it. He makes everything with a 3D printer, and his work is just very unique and innovative. Another thing that I have by him that I really like is this. It has a smaller palette in it, same kind of deal. And then this came to fit the smaller palette, and it clips around a sketchbook. So when I am doing plein air painting, I absolutely love just clipping that around my sketchbook, and everything is right where I want it to be. And you can add to this. I just don't have it filled right now because it's cold and I haven't been outside painting. Another thing on Zach's site that is really cool are his fillable Kuretake Gansai Tambi palettes. So Zach has started to create these 3D printed palettes. I showed this one off earlier, and I said that the Kuretake paints did not come with it, but it is an awesome palette for the Kuretake paints. I have talked about it before on the channel, but I always love to give Zach a shout out when I can. He is absolutely one of the nicest guys, and his business is a labor of love and something that he does to support his family. So if you like any of these products, please give him your love, and, you know, pay for something really quality that somebody's going to love that they probably don't have. So that's what I would say about Arts to Embers. Another small brand is Artsy Rosie. Artsy Rosie makes watercolor booklets. She makes sketchbooks. So this is one I just recently bought. I've already bought one from her and filled it before. Her sketchbooks are handmade and bound. And so when you get them, they are going to kind of be floppy like this, but they settle down after time, and you can clip the pages down. But she uses high quality paper. I get mine made with Arches cold press. You can kind of customize it to order on her website. And even though it is kind of a pricey situation, if you want, like, I get the smaller ones because it's just a great travel sketchbook that I can throw in a bag and take with me. And it's really nice to work on something that somebody made with such love and care. Again, I love Artsy Rosie. She's a really, really awesome seller on Etsy, and she takes a lot of time and attention, and she customizes these completely. So I'll link her below. If you are in the market for a handmade sketchbook, she's your girl. And last but not least is a new brand that I'm actually going to be reviewing on the channel next week, and that is Sisters Ink. So they did give this palette to me for review. So just full disclosure that this palette was a gift, but I absolutely love it. So if you are looking for some handmade watercolors from a new company, look at how this came. It's just absolutely beautiful. So this palette is $100, and they are from Australia, so they'll take a little bit of time to get here, but they got my stuff here really fast. They come in this little nice felt pouch, and just spoiler alert, but you're going to see it next week when I review it. These paints are absolutely phenomenal. That one magenta does want to stick to the top of this palette because it's real full, because they gave me a really nice full set of paints. But I actually have their whole dot card, and I am working my way through testing everything that they sent me, and their paints are really nice and high quality, and it is a beautiful, fun handmade gift. if you are looking for something to give somebody, or if you're in Australia watching this, this would be, I tried to kind of highlight some artists from all over the place. So Scrim is in Germany, and Yuli's out in California. I don't actually know where Zach or Artsy Rosie are, but I know that they ship most places. So I tried to kind of give you guys some different ideas here. All right, the final small business I am going to point out is a great gift idea if you don't know what to get somebody. So say you watch this whole video and you're like, you know what? I don't know what they have. I don't know what they don't have. So you know what I would recommend? I would recommend a subscription to Sketchbox. So yes, Sketchbox is a small company. They do art subscription boxes. Shameless plug. Look, they put me on the box. I love them. Not just because they put me on the box. They're just awesome and I love them. But I just think that getting a subscription box is so fun. So you could gift them a subscription or just gift them a single box of random art supplies. And I just think that is such a fun thing if you have an artist that you think, you know what, they have everything. So that could be really fun. And I'm going to link a spot below where you can go ahead and gift somebody a sketch box. So those are my small business shout outs. I hope that they give you some extra ideas on top of the gift guide already. All right, so this video was extra long and we covered a ton of stuff here, but hopefully this gave you some ideas about ways to build affordable and more expensive gifts for several different types of artists out there. I tried to feature things that were different from things I featured in last year's gift guide. If you're still looking for ideas, most of what's in last year's gift guide is still really awesome and quality stuff as well. So check that out. And I'm sorry that I didn't get this out before we did Black Friday. I was sick and I really wanted to get this video out in time for the Cyber Monday deals. But if you keep an eye on stuff on Amazon in the next week, things do tend to fluctuate in price pretty nicely. And most of the stuff in here, I wanted to use the actual prices of it anyway, just so that it didn't matter what time of year you went to buy this gift. You could use this gift guide for someone's birthday 6 months from now. So what was your favorite thing? What did I miss? What was the thing that I missed in this video that you're like, oh, you should have talked about this? I want to know that in the comments below. And that's going to be it for me today. And I hope that this inspires you to be thoughtful about buying somebody a gift and be mindful with your money. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.